Well, I want to wish everyone out there a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that everyone has a great holiday. I hope you get to spend it with the people you love. I hope that it's peaceful, and I hope that it's as joyful as it can be during these dark times. I know it's really hard on a lot of people. I've talked to so many of you and read your emails about how you're dreading this day and not looking forward to it, and I can't blame you. There's people I don't want to go around and ain't going to go around. I completely understand. But I really believe, and I know for a fact, that we are on the right side of history. I know that we fought the good fight, and we're going to continue to do so. I stumbled across this clip, and I stumbled across it a day or two ago. But I decided to wait till today to talk about it because I wanted to share something uplifting on this day. You know, it's like I've had so many people say to me, Brando, where's the silver lining? What can we look forward to? And trust me, I've been really working overtime trying to find it. And I stumbled across this clip of one of my favorite country singers, Sturgill Simpson, talking at a show. And he had this to say, and it really uplifted me. And I think it'll uplift you. Take a look.
I just want to say, I think it's okay for people to disagree, as long as there's compassion and kindness in everybody's heart, and you meet in the middle, that's okay. But for anybody that's pretty down right now, and maybe doesn't know how to deal with the anxiety day to day that they find themselves accepting, I just want to tell you something that I believe. I think that, I don't think, I know, because I've seen it. I think that this toxic patriarchal energy that we're experiencing right now, this is an age coming to an end. And what you're seeing is that energy clinging and clawing for its survival because it knows it's dying. And we are headed towards something very beautiful. And we just got to go through some dark shit first to get there, okay? So, love everybody around you. Don't accept anything other than that. And fuck shit up. That's all I'm saying.
Now, first of all, I'd just like to say this. I'm not here to speak for Sturgill Simpson. I'm not here to put words in his mouth or add to what he said and try to act like that's what he said. I respect Sturgill a great deal as an artist and as a person, and I would never want to come off as though I'm trying to go, oh, yeah, and, you know, by the way, I don't want it to come off that way. I shared that because I felt it, you know. I felt for a long time that we are seeing the end of an era. I know it don't feel like it right now. It sure don't feel like it at the moment. You're thinking, dang, it's not the end. It's just getting started. But really, I do believe that a dying movement is the loudest right when it's taking its last gasp. And I believe they're trying so hard right now to hang on to power and to seize power and to make it last a little bit longer because they do realize that their ideas are becoming more and more ancient by the day. They also realize that society is progressing whether they like it or not. They're going to be loud, they're going to be obnoxious, and they're going to go down swinging. I've always compared it to people getting bounced out of the dive bars I played in. They were always the loudest right before they got to the door. Right there is where they made the most noise, is right when they were almost out the door. And I really feel as though they're almost out the door. And I know it don't feel that way at the moment, but society is progressing way more than they ever want to admit. They try to act like that they're more than half the country. You see those memes they share where they show the whole country lit up red and then they show the little blue dots in the middle and they say, we're not divided. They say those things to make themselves feel better, and they say those things as a flex, but we all sit back and look at it and see that that's BS. We realize that's not the way it is at all. They don't understand how land and population works. They also don't understand that a whole lot of people stayed home on election day. So it's not what they think it is. Their way of life and their ideology is old and ancient and worn out. And maybe if there's a silver lining in any of this, letting them have this big last burst of energy will just go ahead and show everyone for exactly who they are. Maybe it's time we use the rope-a-dope that Muhammad Ali used in 1974 in Zaire against George Foreman. Maybe we just, at this point, go ahead, punch yourself out. Maybe that's what we do, and it's not going to be easy. I'm sure if Muhammad Ali was here, he would tell you that taking all those shots to the body really sucked. But he made it to the 8th round. He knocked George Foreman out. And maybe that's what we do. We just sit back now and let them wear themselves out. Because I really do believe Sturgill's onto something there. Again, not putting words in his mouth, but I do believe he's onto something. I do believe that we are seeing the end of an era, and they're always going to be loud right as that era is coming to an end. And last, I would just like to say this. To anyone out there who is mad at Sturgill Simpson and saying, I'm never going to do a show again, or he just lost a fan, I would just say, you were never listening to begin with. And I say that every time that a musician pisses off Maga or pisses off someone on the right. I'm like, you weren't listening, were you? The entire time. You weren't listening to anything they had to say. You know, maybe they weren't as bold or brazen with it in their lyrics, and maybe they didn't say it as out loud and as blatant as some of us do, but we could tell exactly where they stood. And first of all, you know, when I heard Sturgill Simpson, if I'd have only heard the song and go listen to it, I highly recommend it. Go listen to the song Turtles All the Way Down. If I had just heard that one song, I would have kind of knew that me and that guy would get along. I would kind of know that, you know what, we probably got a lot in common. I believe that's somebody that I could sit and talk with. We probably wouldn't agree on everything. I'm sure we wouldn't. But that's definitely someone I could carry on a conversation with, and that's definitely someone that's not going to get swept up in some sort of, you know, ridiculous cultish theater. So I'll never understand the people that suddenly turn and go, I can't believe they said that. I can't believe they're woke or whatever. It's ridiculous. And, you know, there's going to be the people that's going to start shouting, shut up and sing. And we all know how that works. As long as it's Kid Rock, they don't care what he says. But that's the cool part. I highly recommend you go check out Sturgill's music. He is one of the most diverse artists out there. His albums have changed and evolved over time, and he's going under the name Johnny Blue Skies these days. But I have my favorites. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke. There's some of his albums that I didn't listen to more than once, or maybe only listened to twice. Some of it necessarily wasn't my cup of tea, but I respect his artistry, and I respect him having the balls to take the chances and think outside the box and do things different. He has made some really, really good albums. And you know, if you're a country fan, a bluegrass fan, a rock fan, regardless of what you like, I think there's some, if you like R&B soul, I mean, he's a very diverse artist and one of my favorites out there. And, you know, again, going back to that shut up and sing crowd, I would much rather have someone like Sturgill. I would much rather pay my money, go out, stand there, watch an artist like Sturgill perform, and then have him say something uplifting and have him try to lift people up that were feeling down. I would much rather stand there and support that artist as to go out and listen to someone like Kid Rock or Hank Williams Jr. sit and bark at their audience and try to stick their chest out like they're a tough guy and they're going to kick somebody's ass. That stuff is that's not something. And I will say this till the day I die. Hank Williams Jr. from 1975 to 1990, right through there, made some of the greatest country music that I've ever heard. But I'm not going to go to his show and hear him bark his politics now. And I sure as hell wouldn't hang around and want to hear Kid Rock bitch about his Bud Light. But if you like music and you respect someone with a really broad palette of music, I highly recommend Sturgill Simpson. He's not just good for lifting us up. He's good for entertaining us with some really good, well-written, well-thought-out music. So I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that everyone gets through it. And let me know how you did. You know, I know it's not easy. I had someone say, you know, that they told me about a friend of theirs in the family that was like, oh, you know, we didn't vote for that. Well, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. And sometimes it's hard to break bread with people like that, but I hope everyone has a great day, and I hope that everyone can just be good to each other, treat each other good, and you know, let's just get through it. And let's remember that they are on their last legs, and they're loud right now. And we're going to go through some dark times to get to the good times, and that sucks. We shouldn't have had to done it. We should have put this to bed years and years ago. But that just means we got to work harder to put it to bed now. So, again, happy Thanksgiving. And one quick thing, quick edit here. If you want to take a break from the politics and get away from the music, tomorrow night on Black Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be live on my Patreon channel, and it's free to the public. You don't have to be a patron to get in. So if you want to escape the politics, if your Thanksgiving went rough and went sideways, be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 8, and I'll play some music, and we'll get away from the politics. You guys have a great one.